This summer, Desperados and UKF are on a mission to go in search of the ultimate drop. Suspense, tension, and total release. The bolder and more daring the drop, the more we lose ourselves in the magic, free from inhibition. But why does this happen? We are SKisM, one of the most influential men in dubstep and the founder of independent powerhouse Never Say Die. If anyone can help us understand the evolution of the dubstep drop and why it has such a strong impact, it's SKisM.
First tune I want to talk about is Cokie SpongeBob. First heard it in 2007 at DMZ in Brixton. Still a bit of a dubstep skeptic. I got taken down there to be educated. And then that tune came on and the reaction was so insane. People jumping around, bouncing off the walls, unanimously screaming for the reload, which I found myself joining in for. I think that tune came at a point where things were changing stylistically and it split people a little. The next track I want to talk about is TC, Where's My Money, Casper remix. It set a blueprint for one of the most commonly used patterns in dubstep. And I think it's been used so many times that a lot of people have probably forgotten where they most likely heard it first. And I actually think that Casper nailed it on this track. You can't talk about dubstep and drops and influence without mentioning Skrillex, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. It set the standard for the next 2 or 3 years of dubstep, and certainly everyone and their dog tried to copy that drop. Next up is Zomboy's Terror Squad. Why it hits so sweet is the frequency spectrum. Like every bass sound has got really, really clever harmonics, and so it's filling the whole sort of song and the whole spectrum without cluttering other elements that don't need to be there. The next tune I'm going to talk about is Lax, Step 2. The stuff that he'd made before this track was great, but then he sent me the work in progress of this track and I just literally screamed at him down Sky. He's the master of simplicity, like just like 2 or 3 elements in a track and he just absolutely nails it. It's a descending saw wave, but to incorporate it with a sort of a dubstep beat pattern with trap drums in that way, it was one of the most unique drops that I'd ever heard. Every now and then a tune comes along that just sort of takes things back to basics and reinvigorates a whole scene, and for me that is Bad Clark Head Crush. The first time I played it, I'll never forget it actually. It was in London, in Vauxhall, and it dropped, and it was the first time for a good few years that I just kind of actually sort of put the headphones down for a sec, stood back and just watched the dance floor, and it was just beautiful.
Stay tuned for more from Desperados Inner Tequila Studios and UKF as we continue on our search for the ultimate bass drop.